Tonight, left waiting in the cold.
As soon as we hit the outdoor section, heading into Pimsey Station, the train kind of lurched forward.
A canceled train, a crowded platform, few updates. Yesterday's LRT chaos has public transit users today asking, when does it get better? Not just numbers.
And what will happen to these departments and agencies, because the work doesn't go away.
Hearing from real people facing layoffs as the Public Service Alliance rallies on the Hill in protest. And it may be winter's most detested chore.
The machines come in and they just push the snow in front of the driveways. Why not push it down the street or push it over there?
Clearing the windrow at the end of the driveway is the homeowner's responsibility, but in Mississauga, that has been shoveled off to the city. Could that be down the road here? Good evening. We begin tonight with chaos surrounding Ottawa's light rail transit system. Commuters are looking for answers and accountability after a stalled train during rush hour yesterday forced passengers to disembark and walk to the nearest station. The issue also led to major delays and crowded platforms along the entire line. And that was just the latest in a number of incidents that have riders wondering if they deserve compensation. As we take a live look at Ottawa Station tonight, where things are much calmer this evening. Typical crowds there after what was truly a debacle on Line 1 yesterday. CTV's Leah Larocque has more on the problems plaguing OC Transpo.
Currently walking the tracks.
This was definitely not part of the planned commute home for Beth Leonard.
Heading into Pimsey Station, the train kind of lurched forward and came to an abrupt stop.
She was on the westbound train that had a mechanical failure between Lyon and Pimsey Station Tuesday night. The train stalled, turning the afternoon rush hour into chaos and confusion.
We walked on the tracks through the snow and had to basically step up onto the platform.
Robin Farrow was on the train too.
I was relieved to get out of the car because it was quite claustrophobic to be stuck in there with all of the people. And there was probably a couple hundred of us, and then there was no bus or train to pick us up, so we all had to figure out how to get home from there.
This is just the latest in a not-so-good start to 2026 for OC Transpo, not just on the tracks, but also on the roads. Problems with buses and reliability. OC Transpo has pulled much of its Line 1 fleet because of another issue with the axle. But the aging buses also can't keep up with demand, resulting in hundreds of trips being canceled every day. Carlos Baus gave up this morning and decided to bike.
It's frustrating, it's disappointing. I think there should be something by way of compensations, just some, free ridership, something like that.
But OC Transpo says any decision on compensation has to be made by council.
If there are savings from not paying RTG the full bill every month, then I think that's where there might be some wiggle room to provide some relief to passengers.
So our focus needs to be on the reliability aspect and reducing these occurrences from happening. Having, a quicker response time in terms of our staff to communicate is part of it.
Leonard says riders deserve better than just hoping for the best.
I'm going to cross my fingers. And I really hope that they just light a fire with this issue.
Leah Larocque, CTV News.
But while some riders are asking for refunds, Mayor Mark Sutcliffe says that's not the way to go.
I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed, I'm irritated by the challenges we've had with public transit. But the team at OC Transpo is doing everything it can to improve service. So I think it's financially irresponsible for us to talk about giving money to our riders when we should be giving that money to OC Transpo to provide better service. What I hear over and over again from residents is they don't want refunds, they want better service.
Sutcliffe adds delivering reliable service is the top priority and that more mechanics have been hired to help fix the aging bus fleet. And as frustration with the transit system reaches a peak, there are questions about when the Ontario government will take over the LRT. Premier Ford is here in Ottawa for the First Minister's meeting with the Prime Minister and is facing renewed pressure to follow through on his promise to upload the LRT to the province. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us live now with more. Caitlin.
Yeah, Patricia, there is still no clear timeline for when this will happen, even as the city faces a multi-million-dollar gap in its transit budget. It's a promise that progressive Conservatives made during the election campaign, but nearly a year later, there is still no agreement and no clear steps on what happens next. In February last year, Premier Doug Ford promised during his campaign to upload Ottawa's LRT system to Metrolinx. Negotiations started in the fall, but there seems to be little progress made on the transfer. At City Hall today, the mayor said the negotiations are complicated, adding it would save the city $85 million a year.
This is a game changer for the residents of Ottawa and for public transit in our city. We've had multiple conversations with them recently about moving this forward, and I can't give a timeline at this point, but there's a willingness on both sides to make progress on this in the near future.
The Premier was also in Ottawa today, but gave no indication as to why little progress has been made. Here's what he had to say.
We're continuing to work with them, and we're going to continue talking to them. We've made some huge investments for the people of Ottawa, and we're going to continue to invest in the people of Ottawa. I think the last deal was about $700 million, uploading a highway and giving them quite a few other things that they need. And we'll be there to support them on the LRT as well.
The city needs this deal to address its nearly $50 million gap in its transit budget, and officials say they've been hoping senior levels of government would step in. The mayor says he's hoping to meet with the province soon to try and move those talks forward. Patricia?
CTV's Caitlin Wilson live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, we are hearing directly tonight from some of the federal government workers affected by the job cuts. Canada's largest public sector union held a rally on Parliament Hill today, delivering a message saying the whole country will feel the impact of the layoffs. CTV's Austin Lee joins us live in studio with the details on this, Austin.
Well, Patricia, more than 18,000 public servants have been handed notices that their jobs may be affected by the federal government's comprehensive expenditure review. And with thousands of jobs set to be cut, union leaders argue Canadians are being left in the dark.
These are important public services. We rely on them.
Tense times for public sector workers, as many like Daphne Chan learn they will soon be without a job.
I was more in shock at first, and then it was last Tuesday, and then later on during the week, I actually felt quite depressed and upset and almost sick.
She is one of thousands of workers impacted by the latest round of job cuts. Cuts union leaders warn will impact services from old age security to employment insurance.
These programs are the lifelines, and when the government cuts jobs at Employment and Social Development Canada, it isn't just cutting workers, it's cutting support for people at their most vulnerable moments.
The federal government is ramping up its efforts to cut 28,000 jobs over the next 4 years, sending more than 18,000 workforce adjustment notices to workers across 30 departments and museums, 15,000 of which were sent in just the past 2 weeks.
It's really tough at work, and the morale is really not good.
These cuts in the National Capital Region are going to deeply touch not just the individuals, but their families and their communities.
The rich got charity! Canadians got austerity!
Wednesday's rally calling on the federal government to share details on how services and programs could be affected.
It's just going to be tough because people are already complaining that the services aren't already good. So then if mass cuts, I don't know how the services are going to get any better.
Union leaders accusing the federal government of leaving Canadians in the dark.
This government needs to be very clear with the public on how many programs and services will be affected by the result of these reckless cuts.
Now, the federal government is looking to save $60 billion over the next 4 years through this comprehensive expenditure review. Again, part of that plan is by cutting 28,000 jobs from the public sector. Patricia.
CTV's Austin Lee live for us tonight. Thank you. And you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the public service layoffs in the capital. Still ahead, it has been cold, it has been snowy, it has been January forever. If that's what you're feeling, you're not alone. Combating the winter blahs by getting out in it. That story coming up. Well, here's a live look now through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam where, yes, it is still January, minus 11 out there right now. Some warmer weather just a few days away as we get a first check on the forecast with Jackie, who is live at TD Place. And some good hockey is a wonderful way to beat the winter blahs, I have to say. Good energy in there, Jackie.
Wonderful energy, Patricia, despite how cold it's been for the last couple of days. The gates have officially opened. We've got the crew here ready to enjoy a night of some hockey. It will be the final game for the Ottawa Charge before they head off to the Olympics and we get a bit of a break. Now, taking a look at the weather conditions right now, still feeling pretty cold here in downtown Ottawa. It's been gray, it's been cloudy, snow pretty much all of January. A snow squall watch is still in place for Kingston, as well as a snow squall warning. So this is in effect between Belleville and Kingston. And it means that we can see blowing snow along the 401 corridor. So keep an eye on this. Temperatures, though, right now across eastern Ontario, around minus 10, minus 14. But factor in that wind chill once that sun went down, feeling closer to minus 20. Taking a look at the overnight lows, about minus 15. Tomorrow, daytime high about minus 13, but still feeling like minus 13. So it won't be quite chilly like it was the last couple of days, but the cold still here with us in eastern Ontario. And we will be coming live from you here all throughout the 6 o'clock hour, to hanging out with some Charge fans as they gear up. Puck drop is at 7 o'clock. But for now, we're going to take it back to you in studio. Patricia.
Well, after multiple dumps of snow in recent weeks, you've probably shoveled your driveway more often than you'd like. But even if you think you're keeping up, it's the plow that can get you, leaving that wall at the end of your driveway called a windrow. Some cities clear it for residents. Could Ottawa someday do the same? CTV's Tyler Fleming joins us live from Longgate Court in Nepean tonight with more on this. Tyler.
Yeah, Patricia, wouldn't it be so nice when the city plow comes by if that big, slushy, heavy, icy pile at the end of your driveway went with it? Well, the city looked into it, and it's probably not going to happen.
Terry McKay's trick to tackling snowfall.
I like to shovel it right after it falls because that's its lightest time.
His real battle starts at the end of the driveway after passing plows leave a heavy pile.
And then the plow comes around the corner, drags all the snow from Earl Mulligan, the main street, and pushes it on in front of my driveway.
It's called a windrow, and it's part of winter life in the city.
Oh, it's really annoying.
And my driveway's right here.
Sharon Grant's solution.
I've got a husband and an 18-year-old son, and they do most of the work.
But not everyone can. Some municipalities, like Mississauga, clear residents' windrows using specialized equipment, which costs taxpayers around $50 per household every year.
It'd be worth it for the convenience, but I don't know if I want to pay extra taxes.
I would contemplate it for sure.
And it would be expensive. Officials say Ottawa is just too big.
Back even a few years ago, we were talking $20 million. And that's only to serve a small segment of the population of Ottawa, because of course not everyone has a laneway. At this point, it's just not cost effective.
The city's priority, timely response to clearing and removing snow on more than 12,000 lane kilometers of roads.
That is our focus, and we have to do that for the safe transportation of all users, whether you're walking, cycling, or driving.
I had it perfectly cleared out and big chunk of snow right there to block it all out.
So for now, the windrow wins, and in more ways than one.
It's hard too, like you break your shovels after time. Like I lost my blade on the shovel because I've been just scooping all the ice, so.
Yeah, you could do what I do, which is just use your car to smush down the pile. Listen, that's probably not the best way to do it. And for some seniors, eligible seniors and those with disabilities, the city does have a Go Snow program, which helps connect them with snow clearing efforts and cover some of that cost.
I used to call the kids, Tyler, on the way home and say, has the plow gone by? Can you get out and deal with that? And then I would also use my vehicle to just smush it down when it wasn't dealt with. Always fun. Thanks for this, Tyler. Tyler Fleming live for us tonight. Well, a frightening situation at Ottawa's airport this morning after a small plane slid off the runway. According to airport officials, the pilot reported issues with the landing gear before declaring an emergency. One side of the gear would not lock in place, causing the aircraft to leave the runway. Photos posted to social media show the plane sitting in the snow beside the tarmac. Only the pilot was on board at the time and thankfully not injured. The incident did not impact operations at the airport. A 49-year-old woman from Brampton is facing charges in connection with a theft from Bayshore Shopping Centre. Police were called to the mall last Tuesday after someone reported a theft in progress at a clothing store. Police say officers later recovered a large amount of stolen merchandise from where the suspect was staying. It has been years in the making, and now Council has approved a comprehensive new zoning bylaw that will change the way neighbourhoods across the city are built and developed for years to come. CTV's Kimberly Fowler is live in studio with the details. Kimberly.
Well, Patricia, it will be several months before the changes come into effect, but councillors unanimously approved the final draft of the city's new zoning bylaw, which will oversee everything from the height of apartment buildings to where businesses can operate. Now, taking a look at some of the major changes, one is allowing buildings with a maximum height of 3 stories in most neighborhoods, with an option to increase to 4 stories in some areas. On main streets, buildings will be taller and closer together, with the maximum height increasing from 30 stories, that's up from 27. And in suburban areas, all high rises more than 600 meters away from transit stations, they'll be limited to 18 stories. And there will be no more minimum parking requirements for new builds, except in rural areas where at least 1 space per unit will be required. Now, the zoning changes come on the heels of the city's
provincial planning regulations are directing us to grow. Ottawa still has a quality of life that is meaningful for people across the country, and they are choosing to live here. And our official plan has made the right choice to grow up and not to grow out for financial and environmental reasons.
Now, these zoning changes come on the heels of the city's approval of the new official plan, which prioritizes building more homes to accommodate the expected near doubling of the population here in Ottawa in the next 25 years. Now, the zoning changes also make it easier to operate a small business, particularly out of your own home. It allows more locations for entrepreneurs to establish themselves and to grow, and to provide services to support the day-to-day needs of nearby residents. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Kimberly Fowler live for us tonight. And CTV Ottawa has extended coverage of the new zoning bylaw and how it could impact the way we build in neighborhoods across the city. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Also at City Hall today, councillors voted to explore further options to protect the Kanata Golf and Country Club from being developed. A motion from Councillor Kathy Curry called on staff to look at options to secure the long-term protection of the land, including potentially acquiring the property. That motion passed with a vote of 21-3. The site on Campo Drive has been the subject of legal battles for years, but last September the court cleared the way for 1,500 homes to be built on the golf course lands. Well, councillors also confirmed the landfill as being a done deal today. Ottawa taxpayers are set to become the owners of an East End dump that is being purchased for $95 million. The sale is being regarded as a win, with the land valued above the $140 million mark. It's situated on Boundary Road between Divine Road and Highway 417. Now that it has been purchased, city staff will work to integrate it into the waste management plan. More details on that are set to become available next year. Well, the Bank of Canada says it will hold its key interest rate at 2.25%. This is data in recent weeks shows the country's economy has largely been stable and in line with the central bank's outlook despite U.S. tariffs. The rate announcement also comes as the Canadian economy faces an uncertain future, with the scheduled review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement coming up later this year.
As the Canadian economy continues to adjust to U.S. trade restrictions, we expect the economy to grow modestly and inflation to stay close to our 2% target. However, uncertainty around our forecast is heightened.
Macklem also says U.S. trade policy remains unpredictable, and the timing or direction of the next change in the policy rate is difficult to predict.
This is one of the best winters we've had for a long time.
I just don't like the cold anymore.
Well, just ahead, how do you beat the winter blues? Some Ottawa residents share their tips. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. We're hanging out with the Capital City Condors, who happen to be Team Jenner tonight. You guys got to meet the team captain tonight, didn't you?
Yeah. It is so good to see her. Like,
Really captain of that team, it's a blessing to her, and we're so happy to have her.
I love all these messages. I'm so pumped to have you on my bench. It says I love the energy when you're in the building. They also are handing out bobbleheads, 60,000 to the first 6,000 fans, not 60,000, the first 6,000 fans. Take a look at this. And I want to get a Capital Condors on 3. 1, 2, 3. That's the kind of energy that you will be hearing here tonight at the Ottawa Charge game at TD Place. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Temperature sitting around -13 with a wind chill feeling more like -20. And we are looking out at Kaweki Point. A great night to be out at Kaweki.
Today's snow report brought to you by Some Edelweiss, where happiness falls from the sky.
And here's how it's looking at Edelweiss today. Not a lot of new snow today. That's a first for a little while. But the base is excellent. 2 lifts are open at Edelweiss, 14 runs available. And over at Mont Cascade, 3 of 6 lifts and 15 runs. 2 of 3 lifts at Calabogie Peaks, 23 runs, almost fully open there. 4 lifts at Borlage and 14 runs. And at Camp Fortune, 5 of 7 lifts and 23 runs available to skiers and snowboarders.
JS here again. For the best possible Learn to Ski experience, visit our terrain-based learning facilities here at Summit Edelweiss.
Well, are you tired of the snow and cold? We've had a lot of long gray days. The sunshine was welcome relief today, but many of you are probably longing for spring and warmer temperatures. However, there are some ways to beat those winter blues and enjoy the season. Here's CTV's Peter Sperling.
Margaret Kenny is embracing winter skiing in Gatineau Park.
It was great, especially with the sun shining. It's lovely.
For her, snow is the gift that keeps on giving, with Ottawa receiving nearly 170 centimeters since November.
This is one of the best winters we've had for a long time.
Whether it's skiing or skating down the canal.
It's a nice way to be outside.
With a beaver tail stop, of course.
Is it tasty? Yeah.
While many do embrace the season, what's fun for some, well, for others, they've just had enough.
Absolutely. I just don't like the cold anymore.
It's really cold. It's the cold. I don't mind the snow.
Certainly not ideal weather to be waiting for a bus.
It sucks. It's not fun. These are times where you wish you had a car.
Cancun, Mexico.
This group of 12 family and friends getting a break.
We have to try to get away from the cold once a year.
But for the rest of us, no relief in sight.
I don't think there is. Maybe from the snow a bit, but certainly not from the cold.
David Phillips with Environment Canada says winter is not letting up.
And you know, you're only a week beyond what we call the dead of winter, the halfway point. So there's still a lot of winter to go. I think that typically what you see in February, March, and April is about 48% of your annual snowfall is yet to come.
So, while parts of winter can be a pain, the season sure can be beautiful.
I mean, look at the trees. They're just gorgeous. They've got the snow on them. It's like a postcard. We're lucky, right?
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Well, certainly a bit easier to beat the winter blues today with all of that sunshine for the first day in a while. No snow, no flurries, just those blue skies. Still cold, but a beautiful winter day over in the Riverview Park neighborhood today. So we want to get a full look at the forecast, and I would say I do believe David Phillips when he says we still have half of our snowfall left to come, but I don't know if I buy it, Jackie, when he says we don't have a lot of warmer temperatures ahead. Early February is looking like it's going to be warmer, and it's close, right?
Very close, because we can see that by Monday next week, temperatures, the daytime high will be -3, Patricia. And what we're going to get for the next couple of days is more sunshine, more so than what we've had these last few weeks. So we're liking this as we welcome in a new month. And taking a look at our conditions right now, temperatures still pretty cold as the sun has set. Well, you do see or notice the difference in the coolness. -12 right now, feeling more like a -18. We did see a daytime high at -10, but I also started to see some of that snow melting in the afternoon with all the sunshine that we did get for today. A closer look now at temperatures for the tonight's lows. It's minus 16 here in Ottawa, about minus 15, minus 16 along the Seaway. Slightly cooler in the Bancroft area, minus 22. There is a chance that we could see some light flurries moving through into the overnight and on and off towards tomorrow, but this will really focus in areas of the valley as well as along the Seaway. So here in Ottawa, we might see more sunshine. Daytime highs for tomorrow about minus 12, minus 11, minus 10 along the Seaway, and about minus 16 in and around the valley. A closer look now at what we can expect in terms of conditions across the country. Well, it's still going to be very cold in Atlantic Canada, minus 10, minus 11. That cool Arctic air still really lingering for parts of Quebec as well as Ontario. And as we look towards the prairies as well, temperatures still pretty warm, decently around the Calgary area as well as Vancouver. But here, so lots of sunshine in store, not much in terms of flurries. That's the good news. But Friday, though, we could see a little bit more cloud cover, but I will take it as long as we don't see more snow along the way. Now, the 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. So the chance of flurries will linger for Thursday as well as Friday, but temperatures are still going to maintain about minus 12, minus 13. I am liking the overnight low for Thursday into Friday, minus 22, because that means that the canal will be great conditions for the first day of Winterlude. We've got Confederation Park lit up with Crystal Palace, and we've got Jacques Cartier Park already set to go for Snowflake Kingdom. Sunday as well as Monday, we'll see lots of sunshine. So this is the great news. Now, that is it from us so far here at TD Place, but we are enjoying all of the fun atmosphere, the energy that's coming in. I also want to see, we're going to talk to this person right here later on the show, Jamie Fine. We have lots to talk about.
There's not enough time in the show. We were starting a podcast.
We'll have time. We'll find time in a little bit, but Patricia, we'll take it back to you in studio. We're getting ready to cheer on the Charge.
Let's get it.
Mayor's Gala, Juno nominee, out at the Charge game. She's everywhere. I love it. Thanks.
If this does happen and we can post on Meta again, I think we'll be at a point where we can really start growing in even more ways than we already have.
Well, coming up, could news come back to Facebook and Instagram in Canada? It's something the federal government is discussing with tech giant Meta. Meta, the social media giant that owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, is being sued in the U.S. and accused of addicting children, while the tech company is being courted by Ottawa to reinstate news on its platforms as part of trade negotiations with the U.S. CTV senior political correspondent Mike Couture has more.
Like many local newspaper editors in Canada, Charlie Senak's job got a lot harder when Meta stopped allowing news on platforms like Facebook and Instagram.
I hear it from our readers, too, who are incredibly frustrated that they can't find us on Facebook. It was a very quick and easy way for them to go and get their content that they want.
The Online News Act and Online Streaming Act have been called irritants by the Trump administration in trade discussions. Both laws compel U.S. tech giants to financially support Canadian TV, film, and music sectors. Instead of paying Canadian media companies for carrying their content, all Meta platforms blocked Canadian news on sites like Facebook and Instagram in 2023. Meta wouldn't provide a comment about renewed talks, but did point to these comments in October.
News publishers place their content on our platforms because they get increased distribution, and then they can monetize the clicks that they receive as a result of that distribution.
Kern added that Meta was hopeful news could return to their platform. The Identity and Culture Minister says talks are preliminary.
Canada's door has always been open to have those discussions. We stand by the value of the two acts that make sure that platforms are doing their jobs and making sure people are getting fair dealings.
But even that is welcome news for Senak.
If this does happen and we can post on Meta again, I think we'll be at a point where we can really start growing in even more ways than we already have, and with the added advantage of all the work that we've already put into it.
Last year, the Canadian government removed the digital services tax just to restart talks with the U.S. But it's unclear how far it's willing to bend with the online news and streaming acts. Mike Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. New data shows where Canadians are choosing to travel as they continue to avoid trips to the U.S. According to data and marketing firm Environics Analytics, domestic travel was up 9% between July and September last year, compared to the same period in 2024. And when it comes to where Canadians are going, Prince Edward Island has proven to be a popular destination. Trips to that province by Canadians were up more than 13% between July and September. That's followed by Ontario, where trips were up 12%. New Brunswick, another popular spot, up 11%. And trips to Saskatchewan were up 11.3%.
Now Siobhan looks on as Cousins heads net front. It's really quick to Cousins on the stick. He scores!
The Senators back on home ice tonight, hosting the Colorado Avalanche. They're coming off a big win on Sunday when they beat the Vegas Golden Knights 7-1. James Reiner will start in goal. Linus Ullmark will be backing up. Puck drop is at 7:30. We now know who will carry Canada's flag at the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics. Champions Mikael Kingsbury and Marielle Thompson have been selected for the honor. Kingsbury is a three-time Olympic medalist in moguls. The Quebec athlete was the first male mogul skier to win 3 Olympic medals. Thompson is from Whistler, BC. She's also had an impressive career, winning gold in her Olympic debut back in 2014 and adding a silver in 2022. The opening ceremony takes place February 6th in northern Italy. And if you are looking for a romantic date spot for Valentine's Day, you may want to book into one of these restaurants in the capital region. Open Table has released its list of the most romantic restaurants in Canada, and 2 spots in Ottawa, 1 in Gatineau, have made the cut. Riviera on Spark Street, Zoe's at the Fairmont Chateau Laurier, and a home at Hilton Lac Limy in Gatineau all claimed a spot on the list. Well, let's go back to Jackie at TD Place, where the Ottawa Charge are playing their last game before the Olympics, and looks like a really good crowd tonight, Jackie.
Yes, Patricia. What I really love about coming to the Ottawa Charge games is that you not just get the posters, you get all the people dressed up. Some fan gave me this lovely headband, but you also don't know who you're going to run into at this game, and that includes Jamie Fine, season ticket holder, big Ottawa Charge fan. How hyped are you for tonight?
Wait, you think I'm an Ottawa Charge fan? What gave that away? I'm actually obsessed. No, it's game day, baby. I'm obsessed with the Ottawa Charge. I'm obsessed with everything they represent. I'm obsessed with the fact that they're from Ottawa because I ride for my city, baby. And I love it, and I love everything about it.
And it's so great to hear that we've got at least 3 players representing Canada at the Olympics this year. This is the final game, so I'm loving the energy here as well. We also want to applaud the Junos have been in and around. They announced the nominees and the events that are coming up in Hamilton for this year. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, first of all, it's nice. We love when the Junos are in Ontario. We love that. And the amazing producer, Joel Sofer of Body, that I did with Sean Daddy D. Desmond is what we got to call him, was nominated for Juno because he's such an incredible producer. He's worked on so many tracks in Canada representing our country and representing how incredible the talent is here. And so I'm really proud that song helped him get the nomination, and we're rooting for him. And I will be sending him the biggest gift, a yacht, maybe, when he wins it.
Maybe. Yeah. So we heard it here first, a yacht. But for now, we are going to be cheering on Brianne Jenner, Emily Clark, Jocelyn O'Rourke, and the whole team here. Yeah. Puck drop is 7 o'clock. You have a Go Charge Go in you?
Go Charge Go, baby!
Love that. Thank you so much. We're going to take it back to you in studio, Patricia.
Attracting just a little attention over there, Jackie. Loving the energy tonight. Thank you.
Had me completely occupied, so I was not aware of what the other person was doing.
Well, just ahead, we share the details of a new scam you need to know about if you're planning on selling a used vehicle.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, there's a new scam targeting people trying to sell their used cars. Criminals are tampering with vehicles to make the owners think they have serious problems. CTV's Pat Foran has the details.
I feel violated.
Mark Rafi and Carol Crawford of Paris, Ontario, were selling their 2016 Hyundai Santa Fe. They listed it for $7,000 on Facebook Marketplace. Two people came at night to see the vehicle. One man wanted to inspect the trunk.
And he was looking underneath the mats and looking for the spare tire, and had me completely occupied. So I was not aware of what the other person was doing, who had gone around to the car, opened up the hood.
It's believed after opening the hood, the man sprayed oil throughout the engine compartment. When the potential buyer started to go for a test drive, he stopped and backed into the driveway.
The other gentleman who was hanging around the driveway squatted down and sprayed or inserted something liquid into the tailpipe.
After a short drive, they returned, and smoke was pouring off the engine and out of the exhaust.
There's all this white smoke coming out, and the other guy who was in the driveway comes running around and says, look, he says, there's oil everywhere.
Rafi says the two men told him the engine had blown and the car was worthless.
It was like, oh my gosh, something must have blown because there's oil everywhere.
He was asking $7,000 for the SUV, but was convinced to take $1,000 just to get rid of it. The two men paid in cash, took an extra set of tires, and left. Rafi told his wife what happened. That's when they checked their security video.
We saw everything. I said, we've been scammed. I said, this is a scam.
This is a case of seller beware.
An auto fraud investigator says criminals will put oil on the engine and in the tailpipe to make the car smoke and appear to have serious mechanical problems.
They really presented a convincing story to the owner that his car basically has blown the engine.
Rafi is upset he was scammed out of $6,000 and that he trusted the two men.
To be taken like this, I don't know how somebody sleeps at night after doing this.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Amazon is laying off 16,000 employees. BNN Bloomberg's Marella Fernandez has the details on that tonight.
This is the second round of layoffs for the company in about 3 months. Amazon says it is removing bureaucracy, but did not share which divisions are affected. The big tech firm had warned employees last year that AI and automation would mean a smaller workforce. The announcement of 16,000 jobs being lost follows the layoff of 14,000 employees in October. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up a fraction to 73.76. West Texas Intermediate is up to 63.21. Western Canadian Select up over $2 to 47.07. And the TSX gained 79 points for a new record close of 33,176. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
It can improve response, but also it can reduce toxicity and improve your quality of life as a patient.
Well, just ahead, we'll have the details on a unique cancer treatment developed here in Ontario that is showing promising results in early trials.
Home openers on May 8th, and we've got a great special announcement coming on February 11th when our home opener tickets go on sale to, kickstart a great season and make sure everyone understands that, baseball's in full swing in Ottawa.
Well, it's still winter, but the Ottawa Titans are getting set for baseball season with 100 days until their home opener on May 8th. The team is providing a small preview of what's to come, saying fans can expect some special events and a full season of action in the capital. Well, they're called poop pills, and researchers in Ontario are using them to help improve treatment results for advanced cancer patients. CTV's Pauline Chan explains.
They call it fecal microbiota transplants, or FMT, also commonly known as poop pills.
It was the first time in the world anybody actually used healthy donor FMT in kidney cancer patients.
Blue capsules containing the diverse gut bacteria of healthy donors.
On average, we have to screen 43 people to get a person who passes the screen.
Saman Malecki says the gut is actually the largest immune organ in the body.
The drugs that we are giving kidney cancer patients are immunotherapy drugs. These drugs work through activating the immune system.
But there are side effects.
They can activate an immune response against the lining of our gut, and the patients can experience severe diarrhea or colitis. And sometimes that can be actually life-threatening.
Researchers at London Health Sciences combined FMT with immunotherapy for 20 patients with stage 4 kidney cancer, and they found that not only did response to the immunotherapy improve, those potentially life-threatening side effects were almost gone.
So we are dealing with a combination treatment that is safe. It can improve response, but Also, it can reduce toxicity and improve your quality of life as a patient.
Not only did it help kidney cancer patients, a second study out of Montreal looked at other cancers.
From the lung cancer study, we showed that the response rate to immunotherapy went from about 40% to 80%. And in melanoma, it went from about 55% to 75%.
FMT pioneer Dr. Mike Silverman says it's not just one type of gut bacteria needed, but a whole ecosystem. And they can even personalize the poop pills.
For patients who are on certain types of cancer drugs and other people who donate for people who are on different drugs. So it's personalized medicine.
And Dr. Silverman says if you're in the London area,
let us know that they might be interested in being a poop donor, because we could always use more.
More studies will be done involving earlier stage kidney cancer, as well as lung, skin, and pancreatic cancers. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Well, coming up, Canadians will now be able to get their hands on the famous fleece jacket from the hit show Heated Rivalry. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. We're hanging out with Syra. I love the sign that she has here. What does the sign say for the folks at home?
It says, "Puck me, please. I'm a goalie."
And you are a goalie. What's your favorite thing about being a goalie?
Well, I like getting pucks fired at me, and I like to save the team a lot.
Love to save the team. I see you have a puck in there as well. That's right. It is Seattle Torrents taking on the Ottawa Charge. Puck drop is very soon. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam, where we're showcasing Elgin Street and Spark Street. It's a cold one out there. Bundle up.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Tomorrow on CTV, Your Morning Ottawa, our Winter Adventure Week continues with a visit to Park Omega in West Quebec. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa. It all starts at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Well, here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk shifting gears, The Masked Singer, Fear Factor, House of Fear, and Shark Tank. We want to go back out to Jackie at TD Place for a final check on the forecast. Jackie.
Yes, Patricia, minutes away from puck drop. The crowds are now getting into their seats. It's a chilly one out there as the temperatures drop when the sun sets. Tomorrow, very similar conditions, -16 to start things off. Quite chilly, though, going to feel closer to about -21. There is still a chance we could see some flurries really throughout our Thursday, but we will likely see more sunshine than the flurries. Daytime high -12. Friday -13. First day of Winterlude festivities, Saturday and Sunday. I'm really liking, and hey, the end is near for that Arctic chill, ladies, because -4, -3 is going to be those daytime highs. Patricia, Kimberly, I hope you're enjoying and liking this or looking forward to it. So we just got to get through these last couple of days. That is it from us here at TD Place. It is kicking off very shortly, the Ottawa Charge taking on the Seattle Torrents, and this will be the final game before the Olympic break, and a lot of fans got this. The Brianne Jenner bobblehead. We'll try to scoop one up for you as well. Take it back to you in the studio.
Appreciate it. It looks great. Thank you, Jackie. Enjoy. We want to check in now and see what our news team is working on for tonight. Kimberly Fowler will be here at 11:30.
A bit of a somber note, Patricia. We'll be outside the U.S. Embassy tonight at the vigil in memory of Alex Preddy, the ICU nurse who was fatally shot by U.S. Border Patrol officers at a protest over the weekend in Minneapolis. Now, this follows yesterday's vigil in Toronto and other vigils held across cities right across North America. And on a lighter note, we'll also head back to the arena at TD Place where Jackie just was, and the CTC will be recapping both the Charge and the Sens games. And you can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca. And join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
All right, will do. Thank you. And finally for us tonight, the excitement over Crave's hit show Heated Rivalry does not seem to be fading. Fans continue to look for merchandise. And now they will be able to buy the internet famous fleece jacket, which you know all about.
I sure do.
Kimberly, you were talking to someone who was behind the drive to make sure that this became available. There it is. So that's one of the main characters, Shane Hollander, wore that jacket in the show while he was playing for Team Canada in the Olympics. Since then, people have been wondering where to get it. We saw a few people even making their own version of it. Yeah, so the show's production company is teaming up with a Canadian-owned clothing brand called Province of Canada, which will produce and sell the jacket. Now, I don't think we have a timeline on when you can get it, because I'm thinking if it's available before the Olympics, given the connection to that there might be some Canadian fans who'd be thinking,
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as they're not too expensive, I think I might get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking at it again now thinking,
Yeah, I know. I think they'll probably be around $100. As long as, the proceeds go to, like, charity and good stuff that were associated with the show as well. I think a lot of people are going to be jumping on that.
Would it look as good on us as it does on him?
Probably not. Probably not.
But it goes to charity, so it's okay. Thank you so much for being here. Please do join Kimberly tonight at 11:30.